I'm always underprepared for speeches. I always make a joke when I'm nominated that I don't write a speech because I don't want to sabotage anything or I don't think I'm going to win. But even tonight, when I knew I was getting the award, I didn't write a speech. So maybe it's just that I'm procrastinating, or maybe I don't know what to say. Maybe there's too much to say. And tonight I think that's the case. There's just too much to say, so I scribbled down a bunch of notes while we were talking. And first and foremost, I want to thank the American Cinematheque for honoring me this evening. And thank you for the good work you do inside of our film community that allows for film to be enjoyed by so many in its truest form. I really appreciate that. It's all out of order, but there we go. I want to thank Barbara Smith and Rick Nacita and the sponsors, Grow and Annenberg, all the producers who made such a beautiful show. I'm so touched. It's hard to look at yourself, but they did such a beautiful job at bringing my career to life. Paul, Irene, Kelly, and Corinne. And I want to congratulate Richard and Greg, although my first experience in IMAX was Night at the Museum and I was in flesh-colored jodhpurs, I'm just saying. That was a lot of IMAX to take in at one time. To all the people who presented me this evening, you spent the evening talking about me, but I could spend hours talking about you, and I would love to. And I hope I get the opportunity to sometimes, because it would be really great. But Tom, when you're speaking about, I worked with Tom Hanks. I was brand new. He was so gracious. He set a beautiful tone on set. So many times I think of mentors. We think of mentors as people who are super involved in people's life, but there's also the mentors that just set a good example, and that's Tom Hanks. And I always wanted to please him, and I remember one time on Charlie Wilson's War, it wasn't the scene where my ponytail shaked, although that was pretty impressive. I learned to do that in 2nd grade, so don't think it was like how I thought I would get a boyfriend. One time we were doing a really long take, and Tom never messes up. He just doesn't. And I don't know why he doesn't mess up. He's so on it, always. And I know it's preparation and I know it's talent, but it's a part of what makes him so special, is he's just perfect. But the sound person came up, we were doing a super long take, and my line was at the end of like a 5-minute oneer, which every actor now is like, oh God, please don't mess this up. My heart was beating so loud that the sound person had to move my mic because I so didn't want to mess up in front of Tom Hanks. And I still feel like that. Jake Gyllenhaal, thank you so much for your kind words. I also would love to work with you again. And that isn't a secret. I tell everybody that because I think there are those actors that you share honesty with and intuition with, and you are one of those actors that are truly honest. Kristen, I remember that porch. Now you're like, oh my gosh, she was so cool. I wasn't. I was lactating. I seriously, I was. And here she is, and she's cool and smoking, and I was lactating through my dress, and they're like, it's cool, you can do that in this because you're you're addicted to benzos, and it's cool if you lactate. So I'm trying to be cool with these young girls, and I'm not. I think you get the picture. But all the same, she's such a brilliant talent and so unique to herself, and she continues. It's nice when the younger generation can be an example to the older generation, and she's one of those women that hold in high esteem. Denis, in any language, I deeply love you. You're a rare director that is, you're so kind, you're so beautiful. He would say sometimes, instead of yelling at people to be quiet, I know I'm going on and on, but I feel the need to. He would say, I'm going to do my bad Denis impression. It's not meant to be an insult, it's meant to be a compliment. He would say, I do not think you understand what is happening here. The actors are putting their whole heart into this, and if you could show respect, that would be lovely. And that's Denis. He didn't yell, he just let people know it let me know that I was seen as an actor, and that's a beautiful thing for a director to do. Chris, Messina, love you, sweetie. You're like family, and you know that family is the most important thing to me. Working with you has always brought out the most genuine part of my spirit, and I always feel like challenged and kind of irritated at the same time when I'm working with you, because like we're always sort of combative, but at the same time like related, and I love you for that. Thank you so much. That's great. I know I got more because there was a lot of people. Okay, Justin. He acts like I bullied him. He brought out Belle Biv DeVoe. So just saying, he's saying that girl was poison, and that's on him. I didn't bully him into that. There may have been a dance. I don't really remember because the tequila part was true. But the thing I love about Justin is that his work ethic is amazing, and that's one thing I always respect in people. And Justin has the most intense work ethic of anybody I've ever worked with. Natalie, when I think about you, I just am like, it's such a shame about your face. I'm just saying. I feel bad for you. But in all seriousness, the same thing that Natalie said, I haven't had an opportunity to work with her. I first got to know her through Mike Nichols, who I love dearly and who loved Natalie dearly and would tell me stories about Natalie, his Natalie. And I fell in love with her through his eyes. And then I got to know her through these press tours that we do together. And sometimes it's challenging, but with Natalie, every time she laughed, she lifted my spirit. And we don't get to see that often, but Natalie has the most infectious and beautiful laugh. And she laughs often and she laughs freely, and I thank her for that because it really helps those long days. Mike Tarantino, that's all I'm going to say. We're not going to say a lot about that, but Mike's the kind of actor who not only has your back on screen, but he's got your back. So he knows what I'm talking about. I have so much respect for him. I really can't wait to work with you, sir. You are a dear, dear man. And if you haven't checked out him doing the cheerleader thing, not the cheerleader, the sorority girl, look it up now. Everyone get out your phones. I give you permission for the rest of my speech to look up Michael reading the sorority girl letter. It's worth it. Okay, that's just the presenters. Okay, now I'm gonna start with you. No, I'm kidding. I'm not doing the whole thing. But I will say that I've had an opportunity to work with really amazing people, and I'm really, really fortunate. So many people could be up here speaking tonight that I've worked with, so many people who are worthy of an honor. And not all of those people are in the front of the camera. There are actors, there are directors, there are producers, there are executives, there are lawyers, agents, managers, producers. I probably already said that. Yes, I did. My team especially has been extraordinarily helpful. They have inspired me. They have created a space for me to be fearless, confident, and to sort of step outside of my expectations for myself, and I thank them. They know how much I love them, and Stacy, I'm gonna mess someone of my own team. Stacy, Megan, Michelle, you guys are the best. Jason, Harris, thank you so much. I really appreciate you bolstering me. I'm sort of like the tip of the iceberg, and I'm like standing on your shoulders, and I'm like drowning you under the water, but thank you. I know. But most of all, the reason that I stand here tonight is my family and my friends. I come from a really big family. I'm one of 7 siblings, 3 of which are here tonight. Dan, Eddie, and Anna, thank you so much for coming to celebrate me. And my friends are like my family. I'm really, really lucky to have the support system that I have. Sometimes I question being an actress. I have to be honest. I sometimes go, am I doing enough? My husband constantly is like, you're doing enough. Oh my gosh, but he's amazing. And I'm very lucky to have him for, we can't agree if it's like 16 or 17 years, but it's a long time. I'm very lucky to have him, even though I think he might rather have Justin Timberlake. I'm not sure. It's a little weird for me tonight, I gotta be honest. But in those times of doubt, I always ask people what they get out of movies. So today, I asked my 7-year-old daughter, why do you like movies? She's like, well, everybody likes movies. I was like, yeah, but what do movies mean to you? And she told me, she's awesome. She said, I like movies because they allow my imagination to grow. And they make me feel like I'm dreaming even though I'm awake. And I love that.
That's wonderful.
And I feel really fortunate, and I know we all feel fortunate to be a part of that. And I want to thank you all tonight for making me feel like I'm living a dream even though I'm awake. Thank you so much.